You're good.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Today's date is Monday, July 26, 2021. It's 9 a.m. We're here for our Commissioners Court meeting. The first item on our agenda is the pledge of allegiance, and then Commissioner Daniel will lead our invocation. Stand with me. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow with me in prayer. Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you for all the rain that we've received this year and all the blessings that you've given us. And Lord, we just pray that as we go throughout our session and continue through budget, that we use the wisdom that you gave us and to make the right ideas, right choices, and to take care of the community that we serve. Lord, we just ask that you continue to bless us and watch over us and guide us in everything that we do. In your name we pray.
Amen.
All right, good morning and welcome to everyone. First item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, July 12th, 2021, special meetings of July 9th, 2021, and July 16th, 2021. Y'all all have those minutes. Do I hear a motion that we would approve those as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Daniel. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? All right. Our next item on the agenda is our auditors. Good morning.
Okay, the first thing I have is budget amendments. And the first one I have is insurance recoveries, 010-360-3611. And this is to recognize $11,450.49 for unbudgeted revenue for repairs to a John Deere excavator, VIN number 40924. And the revenue received has been recorded in insurance recoveries.
All right, you've heard the budget amendment from insurance recovery in the amount of $11,450.49. Do I hear a motion to approve this budget? I'll make the motion. Motion made by Commissioner Cornell. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
The next budget amendment I have is to recognize the unbudgeted expense from 010-673-4576. And this is also for $11,450.49 for repairs to the John Deere excavator, VIN number 40924. The total invoice was $13,950.49, and the $2,500 deductible does have to come out of equipment repairs.
And I hope I get that back.
Yes, sir. We're working on it.
All right, this is the revenue received for that budget amendment in the amount of $11,450.49. Do I hear a motion to approve that as a budget amendment? Motion made by Commissioner Kelly. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Daniel. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right.
I have another budget amendment. This is also to recognize the unbudgeted revenue in the airport, 052-360-3704. And this is office grounds and hangar rental in the amount of $73,110.36. And this is due to the additional, the acquisition of the airport. And so we're recognizing that additional revenue.
All right, I have a budget amendment from the airport office grounds and hangar rental in the amount of $73,110.36. $110.36. Do I hear a motion that we approve this budget amendment?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cornell. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
My last budget amendment is also for the airport to recognize unbudgeted expense. And this will be in contract labor 052-617-4150 in the amount of $37,500. In airport utilities 052-617-4445 in the amount of $4,000. Airport improvements 052-617-4553 in the amount of $12,360.36. And also in new equipment 052-617-4572, and this is in the amount of $9,250, totaling $73,110.36. And this is also due to the acquisition, and these are line items that we needed to increase to recognize the additional expenses.
Okay, the budget amendment in the amount of $73,110.36. Do I hear a motion to approve that budget amendment as Melinda explained to us?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Daniel. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right.
My next item is to approve the invoice and payment to Gauntlet Incorporated, doing business as S&S Electric. And this was one I explained to y'all on Friday, that there were repairs done over here at the juvenile probation building to a conduit, and just to have the court approve that and also approve the payment that we've already made.
All right. We have a payment to S&S or Gauntlet Incorporated, S&S Electric, in the amount of $228.22. Do I hear a motion to approve this bill?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cornell. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Daniel. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
The next item I have is to approve the annual financial and run report for Oakland Fire Protection and authorize payment of the FY 2021 stipend of $3,000. And they have submitted their year end, which was September 30th of 2020. Their fund balance is $29,459.27. They had total revenue of $1,108,731.91, with total expense of $1,569,198.54. And then their total liability and fund balance is $248,252.64. They've also included their run report, but it's several pages and not broken down exactly how y'all had them in the past, but it is there, so.
Okay, so we have the financial, and run report from our Oakland Fire Department. Do I hear a motion to accept this report and to also authorize their 2021 stipend of $3,000? Kelly, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Green. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
My next item is to approve the annual financial and run report for Abernathy Fire Protection and authorize payment of the FY 2021 stipend of $12,500. And they too have submitted their report for year ending 2020. As of 12/31/2020, their ending balance was $37,688.15, They also have a savings account balance of $8,059.59. Their calls for service for 2020 for the city of Abernathy were 26. Lubbock County, they had 31, and Hale County, they had 29, for a total of 86.
You've heard the financial and run report for the Abernathy Fire Department. Do I hear a motion to approve this report and also to authorize the payment of 2021 stipend of $12,500?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Daniel. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cornell. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
The next item I have is to amend the FY 2022 budget calendar. And I'm making this amendment, or asking for this amendment, due to Senate Bill number 1357. And Jim has reviewed it along with me. But it changes some of our dates moving forward. And I don't know, do y'all have your calendar from your packet?
It's done.
That was not me.
All me.
Okay, from about midway down where it says publish notice of proposed elected official salary increases, if there are any, I have to publish that by August 6th. And then to file the proposed budget with the county clerk and make it available for public view. It has to be done by August 15th. The 15th is on a Sunday. I could possibly go Monday the 16th or with Friday the 13th, August 13th. And then the next one, to publish notice of public hearing on tax increase. This is the first quarter page notice in the newspaper and website at least 7 days before the public hearings. And this is if there was a tax increase, we would need to have the first public hearing August 20th. The publishing would be August 20th. Then the public hearing for the first on the tax increase would be August 30th. The next public hearing, the second public hearing on the tax increase would be on September 3rd. And then the final public hearing on the budget, where you set the salaries, adopt the budget, and adopt the tax rate would be on September 7th. Those are the changes at this moment.
We don't need any action on it.
You just approve the amendment. to the
Okay.
calendar.
So you've heard the amended budget calendar from Melinda. Do I hear a motion to approve the amended calendar as she presented it to us?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Kelly. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Daniel. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right.
And if you don't mind, Judge, I'll skip to I and go ahead and do that before we do the H. That way I don't have to come back up again, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
Okay. On I, to approve the invoice from Reed's Glass for the panic bars and new doors on the first floor of the courthouse. And the county judge had previously put this on the agenda, and then, I don't know that you had all the information at the time.
I wasn't here when we got the invoice, so.
And so, we have had that done, and it looks great, and we do have an invoice for $12,253.89. And this would come out of, right now, it would come out of, permanent improvement, out of
$12,253.
Fund 11. $12,253.89.
All right. So you've heard the request of payment to Reed's Glass for the installation of the doors and hanging bars on the first floor in the amount of $12,253.89. Your motion, and that would come from permanent improvements. Your motion to approve that expenditure. Motion made by Commissioner Hale. Do I hear a second? I'll second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
My next item is to accept and approve the independent auditor's annual financial report for the year ended December 31st, 2020. And Jeremy Stevens with I Bailey is here to present that report.
Good morning, members of the court. I'm Jeremy Stevens with I Bailey and our firm. Has completed the audit of the financial statements of the county as of for the year December 31st, 2020. It's a large bound packet. I believe everybody was provided a copy of that earlier. Before I get into it and touch on some of the financial highlights, I want to say I think the county had a good audit year this year. We are not reporting any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal controls or financial reporting. It's just a good, clean audit year, all in all. So it's a good, clean audit year. I think your staff did a great job getting everything ready and for us for the audit. So that being said, touch on a couple of items in the reports, beginning with our auditor's report. It starts on page number 1. It goes on over through page number 3. I'll remind you that our report, it makes 3 main points. First of all, it does identify that management is responsible for the preparation and the presentation of the financial statements in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Additionally, indicates that management is responsible for the design and implementation of internal controls. It then goes on to describe our responsibility as auditor, which is to express an opinion as to whether these financial statements are presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Additionally, there's a narrative about our approach to internal controls, which is that we gain an understanding of the county's internal controls, so we can design our audit procedures. However, we do not test those internal controls to an extent that allows us to express an opinion on the effectiveness of them. So we're not expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of internal controls. And lastly is our opinion, which is found at the top of page number 2. Basically states that in our opinion, these financial statements present fairly in all mature respects the financial position of the county. So like I said, this is what's known as an unmodified opinion or a clean audit report. Skipping ahead to some of the basic financial statements themselves, kind of touch on some of the financial highlights. I'll start with the statement of net position, which is on page number 11 of the bound report. And this particular statement provides a snapshot of all assets and liabilities of the district of the county as of December 31st, 2020 at a consolidated level. You'll see at the top of the page total assets for the county, approximately $49.3 million a year in. Pretty comparable to last year. In comparison to last year, that's up about $320,000. Major asset categories of the county. At the top, you'll see your cash and your investments. Those two line items sum up to about $18.8 million. So that makes up a good chunk of the assets of the county. In comparison to the previous year, those cash and investments have increased about $1 million year over year. Next largest asset category, capital assets, last asset listed in that grouping. It's about $17.2 million this year. It's about $17.4 million last year. That's buildings, equipment, cars, things like that. That are owned by the county. As far as liabilities and deferred inflows of resources at the bottom of the page, those two line items sum up to about $20 million together. Liabilities of the county is about $6.4 million this year. In the previous fiscal year is about $10.2 million. So the total liabilities of the county did reduce about $3.8 million year over year. Largest liability of the county is the net pension liability. It's about $4.1 million at the end of the current fiscal year. It's about $7.3 million last year. So that net pension liability did decrease about $3.2 million. Largely that's due to, that's a representation of the shortfall of the assets in the pension plan compared to the future liability that the actuaries say you're gonna have to pay over the life of the plan. Investments have had a pretty good year, so the biggest reason why that liability has come down year over year is because of investment performance within the pension plan. If you added up your assets less your liabilities and deferred inflows of resources, you get your total net position at the bottom of the page. It's about $30.7 million this year. It was about $29.2 million last year. So it is up about $1.5 million. Again, largely driven by the reduction in that pension liability year over year. The second statement that I'll touch on is the balance sheet of governmental funds, which starts on page number 13 and then goes on over to page number 14. Again, this statement provides a snapshot of assets and liabilities. It's a little different than the statement in that position in that this statement's focus is on current assets and current liabilities. So there are no capital assets included. There are no long-term liabilities such as the net pension liability or whatnot. This is the county's current assets and its current liabilities. Again, and also you'll see that there's separate presentation for the general fund, road and bridge funds, and then all other funds which are summed up to the total governmental funds column on page 14. That's the column that I'll speak to over there on page number 14. You'll see under this basis of accounting, focus on the current assets. You'll see total assets this year is about $27.9 million. In comparison to last year, that's an increase of about $560,000. Again, largest asset categories are your cash and investments at the top of the page. Again, they sum up to about $82.4 million this year, which is an increase over last year. Liabilities and deferred inflows of resources in the current fiscal year, those two items together, it's about $14.6 million. If you compare that to the prior fiscal year, it's an increase of about $100,000 year over year, so pretty comparable as far as liabilities. If you added up your assets less your liabilities and deferred inflows of resources, there at the bottom of the page, you'll see the total fund balance is about $13.3 million this fiscal year. It's about $12.7 million in the previous fiscal year. So again, it's an increase of about $500,000 year over year. The amount of fund balance that is unassigned at the end of the fiscal year is about $9.6 million. Compare that to your average expenditures in the general fund. Generally, they recommend to keep about a minimum of 90 days of expenses, or about 3 months reserve in that unassigned fund balance. Total expenditures in the general fund last year is about $12.4 million. So you're at actually about a 70% reserve of your average expenditures in your general fund. So you're well ahead of that 90-day reserve there. Next statement that I'll touch on is the statement of revenues, expenses, and change in fund balance on page number 16. It's basically the income statement of the county. At the top of the page, you'll see total revenues about $17.2 million this year. It was about $17 million last year, so it's pretty comparable. Largest revenue categories are your property taxes. It's about $12 million, and then your sales tax is about $1.7 million this year. As far as expenditures this year is about $16.6 million. Last year is about $16.2 million. So again, pretty comparable, just a slight increase of about $400,000 year over year. But if you added up your revenues less your expenses for the current fiscal year, and that's where you'll see that total change in fund balance is that increase of about $511,000 year over year. As far as financial highlights, that was what I was going to comment on. I had no other financial highlights to touch on. At the back, there is one other report I'll call your attention to. It starts on page number 100 and then goes on over to page number 101. But this is our report on internal controls, over financial reporting, and on compliance. This report, again, it reiterates that we're not expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of internal controls. However, if we reported any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal controls or financial reporting, this is the report that they would be reported in. Again, happy to report there were no such items. Additionally, there were no instances of non-compliance. So this is, again, what's known as an unmodified report on internal controls or financial reporting and compliance. So that's is everything that I had prepared. Like I said, it's a good audit year. No material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal controls. And with that, I will open it up to any questions that you may have.
Any questions? No, sir. I appreciate you being here, and your presentation. I'd like to congratulate everyone that was involved in the audit, the auditor's office, the treasurer, all the parties that took part in it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You do need to know.
Okay. One of the things we need to vote to accept this, so. Do I hear a motion that we, after hearing the report, do I hear a motion to accept and approve the independent auditor?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Daniel. Do I hear a second? I'll second. Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to deviate from the schedule just a little bit. The county attorney has a court appearance at 10 o'clock, so we're going to skip down and make sure we present his items.
Judge, I had requested a closed session